There is a fish that is believed to be an ancient rainbow trout species that gained access to the Gila River from the Gulf of California. The fish that made this migration haven't done so for tens of thousands, if not millions of years, leaving behind a small population of trout totally isolated from any other species. This long period of isolation in what is now mostly an arid, high-elevation mountain range has created one of the coolest little species of trout on the planet. That species is the Apache trout, which is Arizona's state fish. And in this video, we found a creek so loaded with them that we caught fish without our flies even being in the water. I know, it's hard to believe. Welcome back to another video.
Alright guys, we're on the trail again. We are at a slightly different creek than yesterday, just because we wanted to change the scenery. But if this creek doesn't fish well, we will go back because at least we know that there were some Apache trout. Because at least we know there are some Apache trout in that other stream, even though it's very taken over by brook trout. But we'll try this first, see what happens. We're gonna hike a little bit and then start fishing. Give it a solid few hours, really see what's in this creek, and then go from there. Not yet. No, you're good. I just didn't want to hit you with the fly if I could avoid it. You stick with your dry fly. I'm gonna put on like a little streamer. All right. Just in case it's like an early thing. All right guys, so one thing we noticed about this creek that's really cool, there's all these little springs that come into it. So I bet the water temp in here actually stays pretty good. I mean, look at this, this is so pretty. Water just comes out of the side of the mountain here. That's so awesome. Anyways, I switched to a little streamer just because it's not even 8 o'clock hardly. So I was like, maybe the fish just aren't gonna be looking up yet. And I just wanna like, see if I can't find a fish or two. At least confirm that there's even trout in the creek before we spend a bunch of time at it. Dude, I haven't seen a single thing even confirm that the creek has life of any sort. It's so pretty though, is an annoying thing.
I know.
Look how pretty that is.
Like if there were Apaches in here, it'd be unreal.
Gosh, look how pretty it is. I've never seen a creek look so pretty with so little life.
Oh no.
It's so infuriating.
Alright guys, so Mike and I hiked up this creek a little ways, and we're really discouraged because we fished for a couple hundred yards of creek and we didn't even spook a fish, like not a single fish at all. Like almost like the creek is completely and totally void of life, which just doesn't inspire confidence. So I don't know what we're gonna do. We might cast another hole or two, but I think we're gonna bail on this because it's just not working out very well. And there's two other creeks that we can drive to fairly easily that supposedly have Apache as well. One creek we know has Apache because we caught one in it yesterday. So I don't know, it's really hard to keep fishing a stream when you're not even like spooking fish. And like the Apache trout, man, they are the hardest fish I've ever tried to catch. I don't know what it is about these fish. I don't know if they're really that rare or if there's just the creeks I'm fishing aren't very good, or like what the deal is, but it is rough. So anyways, it's just a little update, and yeah, I think we're gonna head on out of here and try to find somewhere that actually at least has fish in it.
All right guys, so we're at another creek now. This one had a catch and release for all Apache trout sign at the base of it, or at the trailhead. So it gives us a lot more confidence, especially considering that's what the creek yesterday had that we actually caught the Apache trout in. So as you can see, this country, immaculate. It does not get any prettier than this. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we can knock an Apache out of here, or catch an Apache out of here and knock it off the list for the second day in a row. See what happens. It's beautiful country, so hopefully there's enough water in here to even cast because it looks tiny. But let's see. It's actually deeper than I thought.
It'd be a sick place to catch one.
Oh, I see little minnow fish looking things. Let's just walk it for a second and see what we see. Might take a very specific hole in this creek to have a fish.
Yeah.
Or they just be up at the head, like right here.
Could be.
Oh, I see there's little fish in here. Like little dinky stinkies. I can't even hit the water, first of all.
Oh.
I think we have to throw a much smaller fly. Just to see if what this fish even, you see them sitting there? They're sitting right in the current. They're tiny. I'm gonna put on a much smaller fly, I think.
Yeah, we will have to go like micro.
God, dude. Look at that. How am I supposed to cast in that?
I don't know.
All right, guys, so we've just fished another creek, not for a super long distance, but there's so little water and it's such a small creek. And we're like nearly 100% sure that we're seeing little Apache trout, but they're teeny tiny, like, I don't know, 2 inches or shorter. Like they're not even catchable. And then most of the holes you can't cast into anyways. So are there fish in here? Yes, we think so. Is there maybe more water up higher somewhere? Maybe, don't know. But it's one of those things where now we're balancing the idea of like, do we, again, full send a creek that we don't know that there's gonna be even a catchable fish in? Or do we bail and go back to the creek that we know had some fish in it and just grind it out and run through brook trout until we eventually catch another Apache? So I think we're gonna do the latter. But again, Apache is kicking my butt. Like the Apache trout might be the hardest trout that I've ever tried to catch. Which is a shame because they're really cool fish. But anyways, let's actually go find some fish. You guys, I don't know how long this video has been so far, but you haven't seen a single fish catch, which is kind of embarrassing. How do you feel about the Apache trout, Micah?
I feel like they're ghosts. And that yesterday was a mirage. I really don't know how to feel about them. Cool fish, but maybe they need relisted. I don't know.
Delisted? How about relisted?
So as you can tell, this day was in the dumpster. After 5 hours of fishing, we had 0 fish, and honestly, we hadn't even really spooked one. So, with our heads held low, we decided to run back to the creek we had at least seen Apache trout at the day prior to at least have some sort of success.
So you're saying it could be something other than a brook trout?
Now you may be thinking, surely the rest of this video doesn't involve you catching 10 brook trout for every 1 Apache trout, and you're right. But that's only because of one very helpful guy we met while fishing that worked for the Arizona Game and Fish Department. Let's just call him our savior, because he totally changed the trajectory of our day and transformed our view of the Apache trout. For starters, the brook trout you watched us catch by the dozen in the last video were stalked by Arizona Game and Fish, and were all male brook trout with YY chromosomes that can't reproduce. The idea was to overload the system with brook trout that can't reproduce so the wild brook trout that already live there get wiped out. And the 2 creeks we had fished earlier that day, they both had Apache, but we needed to do a bit more hiking to find them. Those creeks do have some temperature issues, which is partially why the brook trout existed in the meadow we were fishing to begin with. Then he asked us if we would be down for an adventure, which of course we were. And he told us about a creek that, and I quote, "The Apache trout probably have never seen a hook." The only caveat to what seemed to be the perfect scenario was that the hike was hellacious, but that didn't deter us much. All we really needed to hear was about some Apache trout that didn't get fished for, and we were already halfway down the road. So, within an hour or two, we were hiking into the wilderness in an attempt to catch the fish that we had traveled halfway across the country for. And we had no idea what we were in for.
Alright guys, so Micah and I are full sending down like a 800 to 1,000 foot elevation drop into a creek that we just learned about approximately an hour ago after we ran into a Arizona fish biologist who said that this creek has a crap ton of Apache trout in it. And even though it's 1:30, Micah and I are full sending into the wilderness like only we can do, and probably a very ignorant and maybe slightly dumb way, but we're doing it anyway. We got plenty of water. We'll be all right. We know how to get in and out of here, so we are going to full send it and see if we can't find the promised land of the Apache. Little bear track.
Can I get some mom and cubs?
Pretty views. Probably a mom and a cubs. Look at this one. See that?
Yup, that's pretty defined.
Cub. Great, so there's a gigantic mother bear and some cubs in here. That's wonderful.
Exactly what I love.
That's what I love to see. That's what I love to see.
Worst appears confirmed. It's not a lone male.
It is confirmed. It is not a lone male. It is a gargantuan female.
All right, guys. So me and Micah just took honestly, a pretty long hike down into the bottom of this canyon, and we get all the way down here, and the creek is just like a trickle. I mean, the water's low right now. They didn't really have much of any snow melt here, and there's just not a whole lot of water in here. But every single hole that we walked past, we saw multiple Apache trout. So we know we're gonna catch fish going up through here. So strap in, folks. We have finally found where the Apache trout actually live, and not like a place with a bunch of brook trout or a place where seems like there's no fish at all, because these fish have been very obvious. So let's see what we can find in this tiny little trickle of a creek.
All right, guys, we have come up to like the most insane hole in this creek we've seen yet. So I'm gonna like really pick this apart and hope that one of these Apache come out and eat it. Eat my dry fly, that's the goal. Okay, it's gonna be, I'm gonna have to step up further, I think, to even do anything here. Guys, just for a little context, we literally just saw a golden eagle like actively fishing for Apache trout, or eating Apache trout. So these fish may be a little skittish right now. I just saw a crazy dry fly eat on that far side. That's not far enough. I know, I just wanna.
Actually, I can.
Oh, something ate so subtly though. Get off that, please, man. Take your time. Let them eat it. Yep, there we go. See, I said take my time and I'd catch one. Apachita. Little fella, but we caught one. Guys, when you're dealing with these fish, make sure you always wet your hands, but look at that little fella. Look how colorful he is. That's crazy, man. Boom. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna release him here. All right, guys, caught two little Apaches out of this hole. I'm gonna go up a little bit further into the hole and hopefully have a slightly larger fish eat. That's a little bit better one. Oh my gosh, look at him fight. Boop. This is so cool, man.
I've always wanted to be cool.
Siri thought I was talking to her.
That's crazy.
A little scary, but yeah. It's a little bit bigger one.
Hang on. Yeah.
All right, see if we can catch another one out of here. Gosh. I mean, dude.
Like 7 on the camera. I'll leave that up to you.
I got this one, you're good. Thanks, buddy. Oh, that's a nicer one. Dude, they fight actually pretty hard. That's cool. Hey-ya. That was a cool eat too. The way he just. It's a good fish, guys. He scarfed that dry fly. That's a good fish, man. We saw a bunch that size though up through here.
Yeah, we did. I don't even know where your fly's at.
It's right there.
Oh my!
Did you see that one?
I hope I got that on camera.
I moved it just a little bit and that fish was like, yes, actually that is what I want. Oh, that's the biggest one yet too. If I could get it in the net, my gosh. Another Apache. Oh, okay, buddy. Thank you for that. This is just getting silly. Chill, buddy. Relax. I know.
That one for sure.
Oops. Okay, he's gone. Uh-oh, they're wising up to the game. Okay. How cool is that? Oh yeah, that's a better one. Oh gosh, he's a fighter, dude. Oh my gosh. That's the biggest one yet, I think. Oops. Ooh, that's a better fish. Dude, that's might be my biggest one. At least here. Dude, that's a solid 8-inch fish. Holy crap. There are 30 fish in a group right here in the bottom of this hole. Come up here and look at this. That is insanity. No wonder I caught so many freaking fish. Like, dude. Come here. Look at the gigantic school of Apache. See them all?
What the fuck?
Dude, there's like, there might be, you know, I don't know how many fish that is.
Every fish.
Look at them swimming down right now.
I know.
That's only half of them. There's every bit of 30 fish in that.
Wow.
I mean, no wonder. No wonder the golden eagle was here trying to eat them.
I know, dude.
After staring down into a hole and seeing 30 Apache trout swimming around living their best lives, I knew we had found a legendary and very special creek. Then it was Micah's turn, so he took the next few holes so he could catch as many as he wanted before we had to hike out.
I'm not fine with either. I didn't want to catch
I would
that
just
fish.
take, you could probably take a step up further, to be honest with you. Do it there, yeah.
That's a good fish too.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, buddy.
That's sweet, dude. It's a nice fish, too.
That is.
Sweet. Where are you going, buddy?
Needs a little tickle.
Okay, he's going downstream, apparently. Good job, buddy.
After Mike had caught a handful of nice Apache trout, we realized if we didn't leave soon, we'd be hiking out in the dark. And with the amount of bear and mountain lion tracks, we figured that wasn't the best idea. So we started back up the trail. But when I saw a half dozen Apache trout sitting behind a log jam, I decided it would be a fun opportunity to see if I could dap the fly on the surface and make the trout jump for it. Which ended up being really cool.
don't know. A stick for scraping something. Oh gosh, I see a Apache. Several apple trees sitting in this pocket behind this tree. Can I cast at them? Absolutely not. Which I probably could if I just stepped right here. They're just swimming around, not a care in the world. Ouch, dude. Here he comes. Yummy. That's so funny. You want to get the dumbest footage ever? Come up and shoot over my shoulder. I'm going to catch one dabbing right here. Or just shoot where you can see me. I'm literally just gonna dap it in here. I guarantee they'll eat. I can see them swimming around still. They're not even spooked from me. How stupid is this? Oh, they're still looking at it. Oh! Oh!
No way.
You still on it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude. I don't know how I'm gonna hook him is the problem. Can you believe this is happening?
Alright, I think I've gotten it.
Yeah, that's good, dude.
Dude, that was the most stupid thing I've
Have you ever seen that?
Tell me these fish don't get, I've never seen anyone fish with them.
Without saying it. I'd like to catch one just to say that I did, but now I fricked with them so much.
This is like chumming for jacks in saltwater.
There's a nice one right there, that fish.
Oh my god, dude, look at it. He's literally just sitting there. Hold on. If I could probably get right on top of this stupid thing. Let's try it.
Got him.
Are you recording for this?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Ah, that was the biggest one in the hole. I just waited until he was coming up for it, and then I Listen, guys, for that tiny of a pocket, that's a great little Apache. Guys, Apache caught while dabbing. Thanks, buddy. Sorry for messing with you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're hiking out of here. After I just had a Apache trout literally jump out of the water from my fly for like a minute and a half straight. We finally decided that we better start hiking out if we ever want to make it to meet up with Andrew tomorrow. So anyways, we'll catch you guys at the top of the mountain, or if anything funny happens on the way up.
I'll be honest with you, nothing funny happened on the way out. And by the time we got to the car, we were so dead tired I didn't even shoot a proper outro. But overall, we had a blast fishing for the Apache trout on our second day. We learned a ton from the Arizona game and fish biologist, most of which I couldn't fit in this video. So shouts out to him for totally changing our Apache trip and making our experience in Arizona second to none. I mean, it's not often you get to make one of the rarest trout in the world jump out of the water for your fly. Up next on the Western Native Trout Challenge is the famed Gila trout, and this one is every bit as cool as the Apache trout. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next video. I'll catch you on the next one.